This for everybody? Oh, okay.
Hi, Jim. Welcome. If you're set, we'll get going.
Yep. I'm all set.
Okay. Great. Congratulations on your run to this Sweet 16, and thanks so much for your time here tonight. Also, thanks to all media members for participating. We'll now begin with questions for Jim Boeheim. And a reminder, you can use the raise hand function to indicate if you'd like to ask a question. When you're called on, please state your name and affiliation first. Our first question is from the voice of the Orange, Matt Park with the Syracuse Sports Network. Matt, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hey, Coach, we'll test your memory again here, and I should have sent you the box score, but December of 82, Phi Slamma Jamma, 19,000 at the Dome, Hakeem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler against your guys. Both teams were 5-0. What do you remember?
Well, Olajuwon played 14 minutes and fouled out. He had 15 or 16 points and 10, 15 rebounds and blocked 4 shots, and he fouled out in about 14 minutes. He was all over the place, aggressive all over the place. And, they played a 1-3-1 zone, and Leo Routins got into it and made some great passes. And, we scored a lot of points. We couldn't stop them, but we scored enough points to win. It was a great game. It was a great team to play against.
Okay, Matt, thanks for your question. Next, we'll go to Mike Waters with Syracuse.com. Mike, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Mike Waters with Syracuse.com. Jim, the other day after the game, you were talking about Quincy, and you said that you felt like he was on the verge of getting ready to play well. What are you seeing in Quincy in the last few games that makes you say that?
He's shooting the ball better from the 3. He's starting to get a little bit more aggressive with the ball. It's something that's taken a 2-year process. When he came in, he was just a 3-point shooter, even though he's physical and big and strong. And, a good rebounder and this 3-point shooter, but he's worked hard. Adrian's worked really hard with him to get his ball handling skills down. He's still not there yet, but he's much better with the ball. And he's made some defensive plays. 4 or 5 blocked shots the last game. And, he's become a real presence on the court. He's not there yet in terms of his overall ability to finish around the basket. But he's definitely right on the edge of it. And, he's played very well. And I think he's very capable of having big games.
Okay, thanks for your question, Mike. Next, we'll go to John Kikas with the Associated Press. John, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. John, if you have a question, you can unmute yourself. Okay, moving along. Our next question, we will go to Nico Tamurian. Nico, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Coach, another guy I wanted to ask about was Robert Braswell, how he's come on at the end of the season, especially defensively, and the effort he's given. What can you say about what he's been able to do?
Well, Robert plays our defense better than Allen, a lot better. He's obviously bigger, longer. I think he's, on offense, he helps us with our ball movement. He doesn't stop the ball. And if he gets an open shot, he's certainly capable of making it. But I think his overall defensive presence and just his fit into what we're doing on both ends of the court has been really, really good. He's been very valuable in these last couple games. Very valuable player.
Okay, thanks for your question, Nico. Next, we'll go to Donna DeToto with Syracuse.com. Donna, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, hey, Jim. I'm wondering what the last couple of weeks have been like in terms of the conversations that people are having with you about Buddy. There's always been a kind of a crush of curiosity about your relationship and his playing for you and all that. But have you seen, have people really been, when you go on radio shows, what have you, is that the basic topic of conversation?
Yeah, I don't I mean, I know he's been doing stuff. His mother's been doing stuff, and he's. I just don't. I guess I'm not caught up in it that much. I'm more concerned with the team and what we're doing, thinking about how we're approaching games. I'm really happy for him as a father because you want your son to play well and do well. He's doing great, and as a coach, obviously, whether it's him or Joe or Marek or Quincy, whoever's playing well helps our team, and that's a great thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm just happy to be playing, and I'm really focused on that. I'm really proud of all of these guys. I'm obviously proud of Buddy for what he's done and how he's performed in this tournament. In the end of the year, the last 10 games, I mean, he's played really well, and that's helped our team. But yeah, I mean, I think we're just kind of focused on trying to play as well as we can, and we have. Houston's one of the top 10 defensive teams, top 10 offensive efficiency teams in the country. They're not just good at one end. They're probably overall the best statistical team on both ends of the court in the country. So, we're focused on that and trying to figure out what we have to do. I'm happy that this team has developed to the way they have, and the balance of this team. With Robert and Kadari coming off and helping us, Jesse helping us, and the overall balance we've had, Joe picking it up in the beginning of the year, the middle of the year, 3/4 through the year, 7/8 through the year. I said, Joe, we need Joe to be on target. We need that other guy out there shooting the ball. And we need Kadari to make plays like he made the other night. He made great plays, and he's getting better all the time. His knee has still been up and down. I don't think his conditioning is to where it would normally be because of all the pauses and because of his little injuries here and there. But, I mean, he's a good summer away from being a great player. And, I just think that at the bottom line, we needed all three guys to win at this level. And, in an easier game somewhere along the way, you can get away with one or two guards playing well. We need all three of these guys to play well. And, Joe's shooting the other night in the first half is, the reason that we had a lead. And the first part of the second half against San Diego State, I forget when, maybe that wasn't it, but they kind of run together a little bit. But when they had 10 points practically in a row, that was big for us. And we need the balance from everybody if we're going to be successful. And it's nice to see the balance coming forward. I'd like to see Allen, get an opportunity to have a better game. He's just got to be better on defense so that he can get the opportunity to play on the offensive end. But, hopefully that'll happen, Saturday.
Thanks for your question, Donna. Next, we'll go to Anthony DeBundo with the Daily Orange. Anthony, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
How much do you think some of the quieter guys on court feed off of Joe's energy and swagger that he brings when he's out there and kind of pumping up the crowd and getting himself pumped up?
I don't know. I think he likes it. It helps him. So that's good. That's a good thing. But when he's making shots, he helps our team. It's a big boost when he makes, perimeter shots. But, he's got 5 or 6 rebounds in both games in this tournament. He's got some steals. He's got 6 or 7 assists. I mean, he's playing great. He's playing great basketball, really is. I think probably a little underrated in these 2 games, this 2-game streak. He's been really good, and that's helped us. West Virginia's a really good team. They're the only team that came close to Gonzaga this year. I mean, I think it was a 5-point game, and West Virginia played really well the second half, and they made it really difficult for us, and we were still able to win. So again, we're playing well, and that's what you try to do at this stage of the year. And I'm really happy for these guys to put the work in to, go through the ups and downs of this season. It's obviously been very difficult, and I'm just really happy for them and what they've done. And to clarify something I said the other day, I know what people say, and it's not that I don't hear it. And when I said it doesn't matter, it doesn't. I mean, I hear it, and I don't really necessarily like things that are said, but it doesn't matter. Is I guess the point I was trying to make. It's just in Syracuse, in small areas. Syracuse basketball is important, and I'm proud of that. I love going into town in the bakery. I go shopping at Wegmans in the bakery, and obviously negative people don't come up to you there. They don't have enough, whatever, to come up to you. But every day I go out, 100 people say, something positive in a very positive way. And that's good. I like that. I mean, that's important. I mean, if it isn't there, it isn't there. But if it's there, it's important and it's nice. Nobody likes negative things, but I mean, it's part of the job and you have to accept it. But I think 99% or 100% of the things that people say to me are positive, 100% positive. And obviously, people aren't going to walk up to you and say, you should be playing Jesse or something. But the positivity in Syracuse has always been unbelievable for us, our program, and helping in our foundation work. And I really appreciate that, because the vast majority of people are very supportive and have really been there for us in everything that we've done, and they've been supportive of our teams. And it's kind of good that they blame me. I don't want them to blame the players. The players are doing the best they can. But I've been very fortunate to be able to have the support that we have in Syracuse. It's incredible, and I'm really very thankful for that.
Next, we'll go to Joshua St. Croix with the Watertown Times. Joshua, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi, Coach. Just wanted to follow up on that earlier question about Robert Braswell. Knowing what he went through last year, having to shut it down early with the leg pain, just wonder if you could describe, the amount of work he's put in to get to this point.
It's been Robert's a great kid, and he's in pain every time he plays, whether he's at practice today or when he plays. He has pain. There's not much or nothing really. We've tried every option. We've talked to the best specialist in the country with his situation with his legs, and he's just in pain. And I think and he's playing well. If we could have found a solution, or it's due to tightness and things like if that could be fixed, I think he'd be twice as good a player as he is now. It's very hard when it hurts to run and jump. And he's overcome a lot of pain and issues to be able to play. And he's an unbelievable kid. He's the most well-liked kid on the team by a mile. I mean, he just is a quiet kid, a nice kid, and you just like having guys like Robert Braswell on your team.
Thanks for your question, Joshua. Next, we'll go to Lucas Weiss with the Undefeated. Lucas, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hey, Coach. Thanks for doing this. After the game against West Virginia, you mentioned about Quincy, that he's on the verge of breaking out and playing really well. What are you looking for so you can have that, breakout performance and really continue to improve?
Well, he's had some really good performances this year already, and I think he's again, his shooting is a big key. When they give him looks at the three and he can make those, it changes. Then they have to play him out there, gives him opportunities to get to the basket. He's still working on his game around the basket. When he gets up against bigger guys, He's struggled a little bit to get the shot off, but he's gotten better at faking, passing it out, and finding people. But he's a really good player. You know, he didn't have the competition in his last 2 years, really, in high school and prep school. So he really is playing catch up in a lot of ways, and I think he's really getting better. I think he's got a chance to really be good, and he could have a breakout game. I mean, he's had breakout games, and he could have a big game, any game, next game.
Time for just a couple more questions. We'll go to Zach Braziller with the New York Post. Zach, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Zach Braziller, New York Post. Jim, I know you've been asked this before, but it's now the third time, I believe, in 5 years you guys are going to you're in the Sweet 16 as a double-digit seed. Is it just the zone, you think? I mean, why do you think you guys just seem to hit your stride this late?
No, I don't think that's it. I think it helps in some cases, but we played better offensively this year, for example. In these 2 games, we've been really good on the offensive end. I think in other years, every year it's a little different. There's a little different reason maybe or something, but basically, I thought, when we had Mike Benajay and Trevor Kuhn, we had a good team, and we just were up and down a little bit during the year. But when we got to the tournament, we played really well, played really good basketball, and I think this year, we played better at the end of the year and in the last 2 home games in the ACC tournament. So we certainly had some positivity coming into this tournament, and we had a great first game against San Diego State. We really played well, and then again continued that on. But I don't think it's the zone. I think our defense helps you, but you got to play well on both ends of the court. And I think we never shot the ball well this year from the 3, except on occasion. We'd have a game here and there, but overall, as a team, we were shooting in the very low 30s for a long time because Buddy and Joe weren't very consistent. Quincy wasn't. We really weren't shooting it well. And if you shoot 30% in these 2 games that we just played, we probably would have only played 1, from the 3. So you shoot 50% from the 3, that's a radical difference from where we were shooting it before. And not only do you get the points from that, but you also get the defense to spread out, and you get opportunities to drive and things like that. So I just think every year is different, every case is different, but we played in those 3 incidences. We played at the end of the year, but we've had some really good teams that have gone into the tournament and played really well as well. So it's kind of difficult to really generalize about it. You have to look at each year, each situation, and with this year, we're playing much better, shooting much better on offense, and our defense has been good. Certainly not great in the last game, but it was good.
And finally, we'll go to Mario Sacco with WSYR TV.
Coach, first off, your son Jimmy said stop picking on his golf game when I talked to him today. But secondly, the versatility of this Houston basketball team, does that kind of worry you a little bit? They got a bunch of guys that can score inside and outside.
Yeah, first of all, this is the top 10 team in offense and defense. You're talking, there aren't teams like that. So, they're a really, really good basketball team. They've crushed some people this year that are really good teams. They go at you. They got a multiple number of players that can hurt you. There's a reason I've voted in the polls. I've had them in the top 5 all year, 5-6 teams in the nation all year, just about. So, they're really, really good, and they're versatile. And, that's why they're, where they are. They're really good, and it's a tremendous challenge for us. And, but in this tournament, if you can play well, you can win. And that's the goal. You try to get yourself ready and play as well as you can. And if you can, then you certainly have an opportunity to win a game.
Jim, thanks so much for your time. Congratulations again, and best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Next, we'll be joined momentarily by junior guard Buddy Boeheim. For clarity here, all hands will now be lowered, and then if you have a question for Buddy, you can raise your hand again. Hey, Buddy, good to go?
Yep.
Great. We're now joined by Buddy Boeheim, and we'll begin this portion of the press conference. Buddy, congratulations on advancing here to the Sweet 16, and thanks for your time. A friendly reminder to all media members with us here, please use the raise hand function to indicate you'd like to ask a question, and when you're called on, please state your name and affiliation first. Our first question will go to Donna DeToto with Syracuse.com. Donna, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, hey, buddy. I'm wondering what the crush of media has been like for you the last couple of weeks or so. I think people were always kind of curious about you and your relationship with your dad, but it just seems like the last couple of weeks you've been kind of like the Steph Curry of college basketball. And I'm curious about what that's been like for you.
It's definitely been a lot of media, a lot of stuff about my dad. Obviously, that is a factor in it, but it's a lot of attention. But I just always try to make sure that people know it's not me that's the reason we're here. It's the team and its coaching staff, and I'm just a small part of it. I wouldn't be doing what I am without my teammates, that's for sure. And everyone has contributed throughout this stretch and throughout this season. Quincy was our best player for most of the season, and he's still a big part of our team. Rek's been huge for us. Joe's been great these last couple of games. Rob's been great. Our bench has helped a lot. So that's the thing I always try to point out first. And it's definitely a lot, but I also want to give my teammates credit because they deserve it just as much as me.
Thank you.
And thank you, Donna, for your question. Next, we'll go to Mark Larson with Spectrum Sports. Mark, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, thank you for the chance to do that. Hey, buddy, can you talk about, I know you guys have been kind of going through the COVID protocols all season, but this is a little extreme. And now you've been there a week and a half, and you still have, 3.5 days left before the game. And if you win a couple more games, you'll still be there for another week. How tough is it to kind of keep your edge and keep yourselves going?
I think the first day was really tough. We got here and we had the quarantine for 24 hours. So that was really tough, not being able to do anything. And I was just ready to play right when we got here. So that was tough. But I think it's gotten a little better, honestly, because we've got more gym time now. This morning at 11, we got an hour to get our own workout in. So me and Joe got a workout in with GMAC, which was a lot of fun. And we got a free lift today too, which was great. So we're getting access to more stuff. We're ordering in team meals, which has been really good. Something I'm looking forward to tonight. And we just try to take in the moment. It's a lot of fun being here. You're around the other players, and it's cool seeing the other teams. And it's a lot better than having COVID back in December on Christmas and being in the guest room, not being able to be with my family, that's for sure. So you just have to be thankful for where you're at right now, and that's certainly what we're doing, and we're trying to make the most of it.
Thanks for your question, Mark. Next, we'll go to Mike Waters with Syracuse.com. Mike, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, Mike Waters at Syracuse.com. Buddy, you kind of led right into the question I was going to ask, which was, could you kind of take us through what your coronavirus experience was like back in December?
It was tough. I definitely felt the effects 2 days were really tough for me. I had a fever, really congested, sore throat, just exhausted, and I just really couldn't do much. I just laid in our guest room. My mom brought back food. Thank goodness she didn't get it, and the family was protected. She did a great job with that. But she was caring for me every hour or so, and I really just stayed in our guest room. I tried to shoot after the 5th or 6th day, and after 10 minutes, I was just exhausted. I was really tired all the time, and 2 days were tough, but after that, I was just tired. I mean, I really couldn't do much. I lost my taste, lost my smell. That was weird, but I was just in the guest room most of the time. On Christmas, I came out for maybe 2 minutes and had a visor, mask, gloves, everything, and it was tough, but I'm just happy I got through it, and my mom helped me a lot. I don't know what I would have done without her. She brought me back trays of food every couple hours. That was great, and I just tried to kill time. I watched a whole series on Netflix, Peaky Blinders, and just tried the best to get through it.
Thanks for your question, Mike. Next, we'll go to WK. Unmute yourself, ask your question.
Hey, buddy, Spencer Davidson, WKTV in Utica. Thanks for doing this. You guys are obviously coming off a couple of emotional games, and you've built up some momentum here. So when you are kind of in a mode like that, especially at this time of the year, do you like having a few days to kind of rest and recharge, or would you have preferred to kind of kept it going right away?
I like this. I like the 2 games back to back kind of, and then this break was nice because they were West Virginia was very stressful, very tiring. The last 2 minutes felt like 10 minutes. We were all exhausted after. So it's very nice to have a break. I think that this team needs a week of practice to prepare for a tough Houston team, and we all could rest our bodies. So I think this is nice. However, I like playing as many games as possible as well. But I think we got that in the ACC tournament. We got to play back-to-back, which was fun. And now it's the last game of the season potentially every time you step out there. So you want to enjoy it, take your time, and I like this format a little better because you can rest more.
Thanks, Spencer, for your question. Next, we'll go to John Kikas with the Associated Press. John, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi, buddy. John Kikas with the Associated Press. Can you talk about Marek's contributions at both ends of the court and his toughness?
He's so tough. He's one of the most fun players I've ever played with. He's a 5-man that can bring the ball up, can make plays, can go coast to coast, can shut down any big there is, no matter what size, and he's so smart. He knows when to take charges. He's a great leader, great person, and he's one of the nicest people you can ever be around. So just that off the bat makes it fun. And now you add in the fact that he's a complete versatile player that can make plays, and he's a great free throw shooter. We always mess with each other. He says he's a better free throw shooter than me, and we go at it. So he's great. He's one of my closest friends, and he's just an all-around great player, one of the smartest players you can have. And any 5-man that can make plays is just a dream for a shooter because he just brings the big man, and it's hard for them to switch. It's hard for him to get up there. So it helps me a lot because he's usually drawing the big man, and the big man's not up soon enough, and I get clean looks because of him.
John, thanks for your question. Next, we'll go to Zach Braziller with the New York Post. Zach, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Buddy, your dad just talked a little bit about it. How important has Joe's play been in this, in this tournament? He kind of had an up and down season, but he's really kind of provided some big scoring, especially in the first half. And just kind of, what's his impact been like?
He's been great for us. I mean, I saw he's leading our team in assists and rebounds, which is really impressive for his size, and he just goes after it. He's a competitor. He's a winner. He's always been a winner. And you're going to get a fight from him every night you go out there, and he brings that energy. He loves having the fans here. probably more than anyone. He builds off that, and it's a lot of fun being out there with him because we can both get going. And when we do, it's scary for other teams because we just play off each other and we trust one another. We know we're going to knock down shots if we get clean looks, and it's a lot of fun out there with him, especially when he gets going. He's as tough to stop as anyone there is in this tournament, and he's been great for us. And he's just he's brought the energy every night, and he's been a great point guard for us.
Thanks for your question, Zach. Next, we'll go to Mario Sacco with WSYR in Syracuse. Mario, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Buddy, I'm just here to talk about your SpongeBob collection. No, I'm kidding. Jimmy touched on that earlier. What was it like growing up with him and Sissy and Jamie? What were those battles like? Jamie said that she came crying to your mom all the time because you always used to beat her in horse.
Me and my sister definitely were closer growing up because me and my brother used to go at it so much and whatever it was. But having a twin was great for me. We competed here and there, but we were more just close friends. We were great, just great having a twin. I'm very thankful for that. She's like my best friend, and it was great having her around because when me and my brother would fight, I'd just go hang out with her and we'd gang up on Jimmy. So that was nice to have like a partner in crime. But me and Jimmy would go at it and everything. If he was playing a game, I was always watching him. I was looking up to him, supporting him. But when we played, it was a fight. It was something, and always ended up in tears. And he'd usually win because he's 2 years older than me, he's stronger than me, bigger than me, and it was frustrating for me. But having that pushed me even more to say, all right, I'm gonna keep getting better, keep working hard, so one day I can beat him eventually. And having that helped me a lot. Just having an older brother that's always never gonna let me win. He's a competitor, as competitive as anyone I know. So it's a lot of fun, and I'm very thankful to have a twin sister and big brother like them.
Thanks for the question, Mario. Next, we'll go to Joshua St. Croix with the Watertown Times. Joshua, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi, buddy. Just wanted to ask about another one of your teammates with Robert Braswell. Your dad just said a few minutes ago that he's the most well-liked guy in the team by a mile. Just wondering what makes him so easy to root for as a teammate, and just what it's like for you to watch him step up down the stretch.
Yeah, I love Rob. That's my roommate. Ever since we both got here at the same time, and I knew right away I was going to like him. He's got a quiet feel to him, but once you get to know him, he really opens up, and he's really funny. He's got a great personality. He's really caring, and you'll never hear him say something mean about anyone or anything. He's just keeps to himself. He's very hardworking. One of the most hardworking guys on the team. He's just so quiet. You don't really notice if he's out there or not, and he's always working hard, and he's really gotten better. I'm proud of him and just so happy to see his success because I know how great of a person he is. And yeah, that's my guy. He's the best teammate you could ask for, and I don't know anyone that doesn't like him really. So it's a lot of fun seeing him come in big plays, and then he has no reactions ever. Sometimes he'll have a little fist pump that gets me very, very excited because I know it's a big deal when he does something. So it's a lot of fun having him out there on the court, and I know that you can trust him to make a play and be at the right spot at all times.
Thanks for your question, Joshua. Next, we'll go to Howard Fendrich with the Associated Press. Howard, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi, buddy. I wanted to ask you about One Shining Moment, that song and the video of highlights that plays after the championship game each year. I'm wondering whether you have any memories of watching that after any tournaments or going back and maybe seeing one that involved any Syracuse teams, and is that a song that ever played in your head maybe as you practiced in a gym or pretended you were making a late game winning shot?
Ever since I was a kid, I always dreamed about playing at Syracuse, playing in March, and growing up, I was just more of a fan. I never pictured myself out there, really. I was just so excited to be at the games, being able to be a part of the program, and always being there every step of the way, looking up to the players and coaches. I never really dreamed about being out there on the court. I hoped it would happen, but I don't really think I could even imagine it, because it was just a dream for me always, and I love Syracuse more than anything. But just a couple, Hakeem's block in the national championship game, Melo, just a lot of great moments. The Final Four runs I've been able to go to, and just to play here means everything, and then some. It's just icing on the cake. It's something I couldn't even picture when I was a kid, just because it means so much to me, and to be out here contributing and helping this team means so much, and something I'll remember forever. So right now, though, I'm really just focused on the next game and trying to take it day by day, because we still got a lot of work to do.
Thanks, Howard, for the question. Time for a couple more. Next, we'll go to Danny Emmerman with the Daily Orange. Danny, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hey, buddy. There's been a good amount of buzz this week in terms of you as an NBA prospect. I realize that's probably not the number one thing on your mind, but what's your reaction to that type of praise, and what do you think is something about your game that could translate to the next level?
That's crazy to me, to be honest. I never even dreamed about playing the NBA. I never thought about it once, and just to even be, people bringing that up me is crazy to me, because just never thought I'd be in this position, and it means a lot. I know I still have a lot of things to work on, and I can get a lot better, and I'm looking forward to that part of my game and growth. But just shooting the ball, I think I'm really have improved on even getting a quicker shot, coming off screens. I think I've really shown that I can get my shot off quick and over just about anyone that's 6'5" or below, and just rising over guys, getting to my spots and shooting over them, whether it's a pull up or pull up three or coming off a screen, whatever it is. I think shooters are needed at every level. You see the NBA, there's always a guy that can shoot it really well, and that's what they do. They space out the floor, and I know I'm not close to those guys yet, but it means a lot and just encourages me to keep working hard, and shows how far I've come and how much farther I can go.
Thanks for your question, Danny. And finally, we'll go to Nico Tamirian with WTVH in Syracuse. Nico, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Thank you, and good to see you, buddy. I wanted to ask specifically if there was a point, certainly you guys have been capable of this all year, right? But it's obviously been clicking the last few weeks. Was there a point, maybe a certain game, whatever it might be, where like, okay, yeah, this is what we've been supposed to be doing, and this is really clicking right now?
There have been a lot of moments, honestly. There's, the last two games, home games with Carolina and Clemson, were just huge confidence boosters for us going forward. We realized that, and we just beat two tournament teams, and Clemson, we really did a really good job against them, especially after losing to both teams. Clemson killed us at their place, and Carolina beat us in a close game, but we didn't know if we could beat both of them, honestly. We just went out there and played and saw what we got was 2 wins, and that was great for us, our confidence. And we realized we got the ACC tournament. Let's make a run and see what we can do. And we played great there. And heading into this, we had all the confidence in the world. We were playing our best basketball. And I think there were several moments throughout the season, though, where we just showed that we're never going to quit. Buffalo, Notre Dame, NC State, all those games we were down double digits in the second half, and we just kept playing. And it's a lot of fun when you have a team that's never going to quit no matter what happens, and you know that everyone's going to fight till the end. And it was just a matter of getting better, learning our defensive rotations more, playing better together on offense, and starting to make shots. So I think it was just accumulation of things, but we really have improved as a team, and I think that it's night and day from the start of the season to where we are now.
Thank you.
And Nico, thank you for your question, buddy. We'll let you get over to practice now. Thanks so much for your time. Congratulations again, and best of luck against Houston in the Sweet 16.
Thank you.